Oh, this? Oh, this is my carabiner. Yeah, because I'm a lesbian. Yeah, you know. I know, it's pretty big. You know what they say? The bigger the carabiner, the bigger the you know what. Yep, I just like to wear mine in the middle because, you know, I'm not either or. I'm both. And I just gotta let people know that sometimes I take it too. I just think it's better right here. It just kind of swings in between your legs as you're walking. See, the great thing about carabiners and being gay is you always know when there's another lesbian within 50 feet of you because you just have to listen for the jingle. When they're walking, you just gotta listen for that jingle. It's like a mating call almost for the lesbians because you're just like, where's it coming from? Where's the carabiner? Since there is a dyke near. Listen, I have to wear the carabiner because how else are they gonna know? How else are they gonna know I'm gay? There's just no way to tell, so I gotta wear this carabiner to let the people know. I mean, how else are they gonna know? A girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do, okay? It's an essential part of the Do you hear that? There's another one.
To those of y'all that are new here, I'm a lesbian. This is a lesbian account. The big old fat L word that everybody hates to say. A lesbian, a lesbian. Yes, that's me. Okay? And I just want everybody to know that. And y'all can stop with the, she can take me and my man, or she's both mine and my man's type. I wouldn't mind if you took my man. What the fucky are we talking about right now? A man. A man? A man? Ugh, a man.
If you are a woman who likes other women, then you know that dating a lesbian is an experience. And I know what I'm about to share with y'all would have been crazy useful for me when I was figuring it out because nobody pulls you aside. And there are so many unspoken rules. So I'm going to break it down for you. Here are the top 3 unspoken rules when you get into a lesbian relationship. All right, let's get right into it. Unspoken rule number 1. You're dating them, but you're also dating their ex. Because, listen, so many lesbians, I'm guilty of this, like, stay friends with their exes. You know what I mean? For various reasons. I'm not friends with any of my exes today, though, but let me just put that out there. But let me just say, it happens. And so you got to decide, you know, if it's a big deal to you, you got to speak up. If you don't care, then, you know, then you got nothing to worry about. But I guarantee you that fun friend that's at trivia night, they used to go together. All right, here's unspoken rule number 2. You better have your life together or be working on it. Because lesbian relationships demand emotional growth. Like, you better be ready for deep conversations. Like, what are your life goals? What's your 5-year plan? Like, are you working on your traumas? Like, how long you been in therapy? Like, you better be ready to talk about it. And listen, like, it's not about perfection, right? Like, everybody, there's grace for everyone. But you better be trying, you know, and you just need to show that you care. Rule number 3, how you handle conflict will make or break you. Because let me tell you something. We like to address issues head on. Like, there's no silent treatment. Like, we're going to speak in love. We'll take space if we need to come back, but you better believe we're coming back, okay? We're going to talk about this. And you need to be able to communicate openly, even when it's hard. You need to be able to talk even if your voice is shaking, baby, because conflict resolution, that's how you're going to thrive. That's the only way to thrive in a lesbian relationship. Do you agree? I mean, I think I'm pretty right about this. All right, so listen, those are the 3 unspoken rules that I learned the hard way. So what about you? Like, what's some stuff that nobody warned you about when you started dating other lesbians?
Okay, separate those. Babe, I need you. I need you to break my country. I'm not getting there. Ow! Ow! I have a special place in my heart for trans lesbians because what do you mean you gave up the privilege of the patriarchy and then double down and decentered men? You are the bravest people I know, and yeah, if you don't like trans lesbians, you're not gonna like me. And if you don't think they're valid, you and I are not gonna vibe. You're not gonna enjoy my page. We're not gonna get along, period. So I just want to make that clear, my stance. And also, I really love trans lesbians. So that's it. Bye.
I have the list of the lesbian indicators right here, okay? Y'all been wanting it, so I got it. Okay, I'm gonna start with what was the previous ones that I had received before and the new ones I just found out. So, number 1 is the double nose ring. Moving forward is the violet necklace, okay? Then there is the double Venus necklace. Then there's having the septum. Then there's having a scissor charm. Don't have a scissor charm. Single earrings, an indicator. Rings. And what is the most recent one I found out was that thumb ring. Having that thumb ring, very T. Then someone had said colored hair, okay? And then someone said glasses. I mean, I said stop it right now with the fucking glasses. The legacy item, like I've said before, is the key carabiner. Y'all know pins. No, don't wear the pins. The pins, I never feel like a pin is an indicator. Anyways, y'all, that is the lesbian list that I have is what is a lesbian indicator. But we all know at the end of the day, ask. Asking is the indicator. Asking is what's going to get you where you need to go to know.
Alright, so I spoke for the mass lesbians, so naturally, let's just go ahead and speak for the lesbians as a whole. I'm a lesbian, so of course, someone's always gonna ask two women in a relationship, who's the man in the relationship? Like, buddy, I don't know if you know the definition of what it means to be a lesbian, but I can assure you that neither one of us want a man, nor want to be one. Like, we do some pretty gay shit. I'm a lesbian, but that does not mean that I want you. So, for the straight women that naturally assume that because you're a lesbian, you must have the most biggest secret lesbian crush on them, it's just not a thing. You didn't do it for me before, Sarah, and you don't do it for me now. Don't make it weird, bro. I'm a lesbian, but that does not mean that I want to be a third so your boyfriend can watch. No real explanation needed there. Just not really interested.
I actually want more stereotypical lesbians on TV. Within the context of people being excited for Francesca's storyline in Bridgerton to be queer, I've seen some people praise the adaptation for making Francesca the lesbian character rather than a more obvious or stereotypical choice like Eloise, and it made me think about the way that people's perception of not wanting stereotypical lesbian representation is in part actually the reverberations of decades-long anti-lesbian and anti-feminist sentiment. Eloise actively insults men, she criticizes the institution of marriage, she is almost the closest woman to exhibiting any masculinity on the show, so like, wow, isn't it great how the writers decided instead to make the hyper-feminine, demure, and most agreeable woman on the show to be the lesbian? No, I actually find that to be pretty conventional. I understand the impulse of, like, you don't want archaic, flattening representations of lesbians. Certainly there have been periods in history in which lesbians and lesbian-coded women are overwhelmingly portrayed as inherently violent, jealous of men, downright evil, or just the butt of the joke. However, when you look at the landscape of lesbian characters now, and I'm very specific in talking about lesbians, not sapphics in general, lesbians in popular media are almost entirely conventionally feminine, they are very legible for straight audience, and most of them are not even openly feminist, let alone do they actively lament the behavior of men. Sure, there are exceptions, but they are exceptions. And yet, often whenever a new lesbian character appears on TV, there will be a contingent of people praising how great it is that she's a lesbian, but she isn't a man-hating, hairy, masculine one, as if that type of lesbian commonly appears in mainstream media as a three-dimensional character, as if it would be bad to actually show the type of lesbian. If you are concerned about showing a lesbian stereotype, the solution isn't to never show an angry, hairy, butch lesbian who rails against the patriarchy. The solution is to actually create that character and just make her sound like a person, because those lesbians exist, and they exist in way greater numbers than you ever see in media. The fact that we don't see more lesbians on TV who are masculine and or disdainful towards men and or socially outspoken is not because networks and studio care about good lesbian representation. It's because society is actually still deeply uncomfortable with women who do not perform femininity, who do not seek male validation, and who are angry about the way the patriarchy treats women. And this is an example of how anti-feminist backlash has actually been quite successful. Yes, it is that deep. The idea that feminists are all hairy, man-hating lesbians became a quite prominent argument in the anti-feminist movement, so much so that many factions within feminist groups actively try to distance themselves from lesbian feminists, including the masculine confrontational ones, and that has filtered down into our media representation, in which now we as a society collectively view the confrontational masculine lesbian as a type of woman who only exists in our imagination. So I actually would love to see more of these stereotypical lesbians in media, because a lot of us actually exist. You can just make us sound like people.
We're lesbians. Of course everybody think I use boxers. No. I use Spink, baby.
We're lesbians. Of course I told her I loved her after less than a month.
We're lesbians. Of course I know her for 1 week and now I'm moving in.
Lesbians. Of course I ask her if she loves me 20 times per day. Babe, Do you love me?
Of course, babe. I love you.
We're lesbian. We always have a romantic night. Cheers.
We're lesbians. Of course everyone thinks she's the boss because I'm too girly, but that's not true. Here you go, babe. Your turn. I don't want to carry it anymore.
We're lesbians. Of course we have period snack. Delicious.
We're lesbians. Of course we're high stocked on pads and tampons. We're lesbians. Of course we like coffee. We're lesbians. Of course she always opens the door for me without asking. Thanks, babe.
I love you.
I love you too.
We're lesbian. Of course we eat first before dinner.